What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope you guys are having a great day as always. Today's video, we're going over what it takes to run 40s on a Jeep Wrangler. This is just going to go over some of the basics that you're going to need to know if you plan on upgrading. Some of the major factors. There are a few other little things that you can upgrade if you want. These are just going to be the major things that you absolutely need to upgrade when you go to 40s. Also, keep in mind, guys, we're giving away a decal pack every single video. All you have to do is subscribe to my channel, like this video, and comment your Instagram username down below. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright guys, let's go ahead and get into it. So to run 40s on your Jeep, there's a few things you're going to want to keep in mind. For starters, just keep in mind how much these tires weigh, especially if you pair them up with a set of beadlocks or anything like that. They're extremely heavy. With that being said, your stock axles cannot handle 40s. So here's my stock axles that we ripped out a while ago. They're going in the Grand Cherokee, but I upgraded the axles in my Wrangler with a Curry Rock Jock 44 front. And one thing to keep in mind is this Jeep's not strictly an off-road car. That's why I did not go full tons or anything like that. It'll happen eventually. But then I also went with a Curry Semi-Float Rock Jock 60 rear. That allows me to keep the 5x5 bolt pattern on the wheels, so I didn't have to get new wheels. But these tires are extremely heavy, so your stock axles just can't hold it. You need to beef them up. If you have a Rubicon, you can kind of make it work. It depends on how hard you wheel. But for any other model besides Rubicon, this is the front axle it comes with. You can just see how weak this axle is compared to the axles that are in it now. Another thing to keep in mind is clearances. With the bigger tires, you're obviously going to need to be a little bit higher to clear them. So there seems to be a debate online what size lift you really need to run 40s. So I guess it really comes down to how much you want to trim, how much you want to cut your wheel wells, everything like that. I'm sitting on a 4-inch lift. I did not have to cut the front. We did have to cut the back a little bit, not a lot at all, but we had to cut the little corner off here, and then here's a better view of it. And then on the other side, I also had to trim this corner off, and then here's a better view of that. I do plan on going back through and cutting this a little more cleanly in the future. We're just in a rush with that. The good thing is the wider axles push your tires out a little bit, so you won't have to cut as much as what you would think as if you were to slap them on stock axles. And while we're on axles, you're also going to need to re-gear. The stock gearing in my Jeep before I put these axles in was 373. Now I have 513 gears. You can usually go with 513 or 538 depending on what setup you want to run. But the old axles that I had 373, and that just would not work with these tires, especially with the amount of weight that the beadlocks add to it. So re-gearing is definitely going to be on the list. I'll insert a photo like right here of the chart that tells you what gearing you need for all the stats you have. If you are planning on going 40s or doing an axle swap or change your gears, I would definitely recommend screenshotting this chart. It'll definitely help you later down the line. So another thing that you're going to want to upgrade when you go to bigger axles or bigger tires, if you haven't already, is your drive shafts. So yeah, even if you're going over a 4-inch or above lift, you're going to want to change your drive shafts out. But it's even more important when you add all that weight to the drivetrain. So your stock drive shafts, these joints are absolutely terrible on them. They wear out when you put them at any increase in angle over stock. So you're going to want to switch it up to something like what I have here. This one's from Adams, and I absolutely love it. No problems with it. But these stock drive shafts are very big and bulky. You cut down some room there, and then you also save or gain strength, a lot of strength. I mean, as you can see, this one's taking a little bit of a beating, nothing crazy, but it's held up fine. So I'm running the Adams drive shaft in the front, and then I'm also running an Adams drive shaft in the rear of the Jeep. Let's see if I can get a camera down here and show you guys. So we got Adams front and rear. Absolutely love them. If you guys are looking for drive shafts, definitely hit them up. So if you're going a little bit taller lift, if you're swapping in new axles, if you're running bigger tires, adding weight to everything, you're going to want to go ahead and ditch your stock drive shaft and pick up an aftermarket drive shaft. Another thing that you're going to definitely want to upgrade is your brakes. So you're adding just so much weight to the Jeep with these big tires, big wheels, that you're going to need bigger brakes to stop the vehicle. And it's just safer to drive on the road, better for off-roading. You just want good brakes in this thing. So I have a big brake kit. Then we'll go around to the back and I'll show you the Curry brakes that I got with this axle. If I can get a good camera angle of it, I'll try my best. So here's the brakes in the rear. Brakes are probably the biggest thing that I overlooked when I started building my Jeep, and I'm super glad I have now. It stops way better than it did before. So definitely brakes are on the list of things you should upgrade if you're going to run 40s. Another thing that a lot of people don't account for when they're pricing out an axle swap is the wheels. So most of the axle options you're going to go with if you're going to run 40s are going to have a different lug pattern than the standard 5x5 Jeep pattern. So you're going to have to upgrade the wheels to accommodate for that. I'm also assuming if you're going to go 40s, you're probably going to want bead locks just so it's better at off-roading and you can air down farther. So that's just an added expense to going 40s. So all in, going 40s is a very expensive process to do it the right way. Another thing is you have to figure out where you're going to put your spare tire. So I actually just throw my spare in the back when I go off-roading or when I go on long trips right now because I don't have a spare tire carrier. But the wheels and tires are just so heavy that a lot of the spare tire carriers that they offer just don't accommodate a 40. A lot of them, the highest you can go is a 37 without them being or breaking or getting weak. They do actually make a couple of tire carriers that mount to the rear that can hold 40s. And then they also make a tire carrier that goes inside of the Jeep. It kind of goes at the angle right here that holds a spare on the inside. I might go that route just so it keeps the clean look in the rear. But you're definitely going to need to find somewhere for your spare tire. Alright guys, so that finishes my list of things that you need to do before you get 40s. If you guys have anything else that you think you should do, go ahead and comment that below to help others that are watching this video considering going to 40s. Make sure you guys like the video and subscribe if you want to see more Jeep content, and I'll see you in the next one.